And since this isn't a swordless run, we start as usual with both runners grabbing the white sword, or the wood sword. You may see the white sword later in the run. And in fact, both runners are headed towards level 2. Justin Man does have a PB on the 3 first route, which is a little bit faster, but also much riskier and more difficult. So in races, he's been running 2 first. The 2 first route, not quite as fast as the 3 first route that you'll see top runners do, but it's more consistent and safer, and you'll see why as we go along. And Justin Man is the first into level 2. SkaF1aq about a screen and a half behind him. As they clear out this first room. The first thing to watch for is, let's see if they get bombs from this room of Gurias that you see Justin Man entering right now. He's killing the Master Guria, which kills everything else, and he got no drops, which will slow him down a little bit. And SkaF1aq gets 2 bomb drops, so he's filled up. That might give him a chance to catch up in these next few rooms. SkaF1aq got another bomb off of the Moldorms. That was a forced bomb. If you kill 10 enemies in a row and kill the 10th enemy with a bomb, you do get a guaranteed bomb drop, assuming it's a dropping enemy, with some complicated exceptions. So, yeah, question in chat, what does no Up+A mean? If in this game, if you pause to the menu screen and push Up+A on the second controller, it functions like a instant death warp, brings up the save, continue, retry screen. There are a few places in the run where that would save time, but it's not allowed in this category, which is the most popular category. And which brings us to what the rules we have to do with dying, since Up+A isn't allowed. Death warping to save time also isn't allowed, obviously. So the rule is, if you die in a dungeon, you do have to return to the room you died, or if it's a stairwell, the room before the stairwell at some point during the run. If you die on the overworld, you have to return to that overworld screen immediately, and both runners will be headed towards a screen where that matters a lot. The white sword screen on a straight any percent yes Up+A route, you would Up+A at the white sword to save time. So dying on that screen under tournament rules is a huge time loss because you have to walk all the way back there immediately. See, both runners, after grabbing that rock heart, because it takes 5 hearts to pick up the white sword, are right in sync, and that this is an awfully dangerous screen where you really don't want to die. So, and it was a little dicey. SkaF1aq with 1 heart as he picks up the white sword, Justin Man with 2. Justin also killed the blue Lionel. That will affect his spawns in level 1 a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. I have a feeling I know, but yeah, both runners just neck and neck as they grab that white sword, and they'll be heading towards level 1 next. Yeah, you see on Justin Man's screen, he had those 2 Octoroks sitting on top of each other at the end of the bridge, whereas SkaF1aq only has 1. That is because Justin killed that blue Lionel. See, both runners are going to enter and exit and re-enter level 1. That triggers a glitch that opens that key door at the top of the room, which saves a key. And speaking of keys, you'll notice this key that The Stalfos traveled up, so it didn't cost Justin Man much time to mess up those spawns, which was good for him. Notice the key was right in the middle on SkaF1aq's screen because he didn't kill that Lionel. So, but because if the Stalfos had traveled down and where the enemy spawn is controlled by your route, but which way they go is basically random. It's based on like what frame you enter the room, which you can't control if you're a human. So so Justin got a little bit lucky that he didn't lose any time to that spawn. If the Stalfos is on the right and you don't have the ladder and he goes in the other direction, it can cost him time to chase him down, but it didn't cost him much time at all. So they're still neck and neck, almost matching room for room. It's a very close race. And both runners finishing off Aquamentus and heading to grab that level 1 Triforce almost at the same time. They're and by the way, the spawns those spawns I mentioned earlier, at the bow they are reset, so that Justin Man and SkaF1aq should be seeing these Octoroks and so forth appear at the screen in more or less the same place as they travel towards level 3. You see them screen scrolling in as they go to level 3. That's what they're doing. They're getting on a specific pixel and doing a 1 frame tap up or down to fool the game into jumping over the barrier. There are several glitches they'll do throughout the run that operate on that same principle. And you'll see they'll both grab this key from these Zols. On a 3 first route, this key is skipped because if you start with the wood sword, that room is just way too slow. The Zols split instead of dying in 1 hit. So, that makes the key routing on a 2 first route a little more flexible, which may or may not come into play later. SkaF1aq getting trolled a little bit by those dark nuts on the way to the raft. Justin Man makes it to the raft earlier and with more bombs, so Justin having a little bit of a better go in level 3 right now. Still very, very close. Bugs Can't Hide in chat asks how many rupees do they want to have. It takes 140 rupees to buy the meat and arrows that are required to finish the run. On blue candle routes, you also need 60 rupees to buy the blue candle. I'm pretty sure both of them are doing a red candle route, which means they get the red candle for free in level 7. So they just need those 140. Since neither of them collected any 30 secrets after level 2, my guess is you'll see them get the Northeast 100 before level 5, and that will take care of their money. Ooh. Ooh, oh, SkaF1aq takes an unfortunate death to Manhandla, as does Justin Man, though, so... so both of them going back in to finish off Manhandla, both of them also with 0 bombs, so you may have to see... we'll see what backup strats they do to take care of the bombs. Justin Man... clears out those 3 dark nuts for a bomb drop, but he's leaving. Looks like Justin Man may be deciding to go to level 4 and come back and finish off Manhandler later. SkaF1aq, meanwhile, going up to the Keith chute. There's a static bomb drop up here that he can use. You can't go to level 4 without any bombs, so. And like I said, a death means you have to return to that. A death inside the dungeon means you have to return to that room at some point during the race. So Justin Man choosing to come back to take care of level 3 later, as Ska going back in for round 2 with Manhandler right away. Ooh! Double knockout for SkaF1aq. That's horrible to see. So, it's like... So, Ska will need to find bombs somehow before he can move on one way or another. So Justin Man's decision to press ahead seems to be paying off. Oh, okay, Oh, okay, Chad is correcting me. Yeah, I was missing... I saw Justin go back in, and I assumed he died, but I guess he didn't. He just went back in to get more bombs because he didn't have bombs to beat level 4. And yeah, their heart container counts confirm that he must have beaten Manhandler. So SkaF1aq finally finishes off Manhandler, but like I said, you do need some bombs before you get to level 4, so there are a couple ways he can solve that problem. We'll see what he does. Yeah, so SkaF1aq farming on the overworld, hoping for a bomb. These the blue moblins and blue octoroks can drop random bombs, so he's gonna kill them and hope to get lucky, basically. And he did. So SkaF1aq has his bombs, and he will head into level 4 himself, which Justin Man is now in the process of finishing off. Yeah, Bugs Can't Hide saying in chat that Justin didn't get the error key. The error key is the key north of the Diamond Ruby room. Justin simply bombed right. As I mentioned, that extra key in level 3 that isn't viable for a 3-first route makes the key routing more flexible on this route. So skipping that key is fine. But some runners get it. We'll see what Ska does. Bugs Can't Hide asked in chat, does this mean he has to get the key in 9? Yes, it does. So Justin Man doing the world wrap. It's a screen scroll into a ladder clip, both glitches that work on that same principle, and goes from the left side of the map all the way onto the right side of the map to collect some heart containers. Takes 12 heart containers to pick up the magical sword, which they'll need for the ladder section of this run. You see SkaF1aq is bombing up, so SkaF1aq will get the error key that justinman skipped. That may mean SkaF1aq can skip the key in the first room of level 9 that justinman will have to get, but SkaF1aq also likes to do a backup strat in level 7 if he's short on bombs that spends a key, so he may burn the key that way, depending on his bomb situation. So SkaF1aq finishes off Up+A and grabs the level 4 Triforce, as justinman is just entering level 5. justinman bombing his way through what we like to call Fort Gibdo and heading into sometimes called the Olive Garden or the Room of Requirement, the Recorder Room. He'll have to fight a bunch of blue dark nuts to... it's one of the more dangerous rooms on the route, as SkaF1aq heads into the World Wrap. Very nice recorder room for Justin. You notice he got a bomb drop off of one of those dark nuts. The blue dark nuts do not drop random bombs, so that was a forced bomb that he got by killing 10 enemies in a row and not getting hit. And just did that fight very, very nicely. And, SkaF1aq stopping to kill Blue Octoroks. He does have 7 bombs, but he's at a point in the run where if he had 8, he'd be happier. So he just took a couple shots just to see. But 7 should be fine. He's going up to get that Northeast 100, so both of them have the money they need. justinman is farming bombs off these Dodongos on a... The reason he's doing that is because on a route where level 7 is immediately after level 5, you want to leave level 5 with plenty of bombs, because level 7 requires bombs to get through. So justinman finishes off Digdogger with 8 bombs. I didn't see, but I think he might have forced a bomb off Digdogger, which is really impressive. But so leaving level 5 with 8 bombs is optimal right now. So he'll now head out. Justin will do his shopping as SkaF1aq heads into the Olive Garden, as Dizzy Rabbit says in chat, trying to get the breadstick. So SkaF1aq got a forced 5 rupee. That means he counted wrong. He killed too many things before he got into the room. If you kill 10 enemies with a sword and sword down the first enemy, that gives you a forced 5 rupee, and if it's a And if the 10th enemy is a non-dropping enemy, such as the Keese in the stairwell, that will store the drop. So you'll occasionally see runners bomb a Keese if they are keeping their count to store that drop. But SkaF1aq unfortunately got stored a rupee on the way in, so he's a little short on bombs right now. But he left this Gibdo bomb behind, which gives him some leeway on the way to Dig Dogger. Meanwhile, Justin has done his shopping. You saw him buy meat and arrows, and now he's making his way through level 7. And he menus to the arrows to use them here in the river room. Those bubbles take away your the use of your sword for a few seconds. They don't take away the use of your secondary items. So even though the white sword does the same amount of damage as an arrow, if you have the rupees, because every arrow you fire costs a rupee, still a decent strat in that room. And Justin switches to meat, feeds the Grumble Grumble Gorilla, as SkaF1aq heads to the boss of level 5. Just about a half level behind him now. See Justin Man grabbing the red candle, which will be necessary to open the entrance to level 8. So Justin's heading into the Wallmaster room. One thing about red candle routes, the spawns associated with it involve these bubbles on the sides. They almost always take your sword away. And these Wallmasters, if they grab you, will take you all the way back to the beginning of the level, which is obviously a huge time loss. So he menus to arrows and uses a few to finish off those Wallmasters. And Justin Man grabs the level 7 Triforce as Ska is now in level 7. Not too far behind, despite the problem in level 3. Very clean river room for SkaF1aq. He did not have to menu to arrows, he just avoided the bubbles and did the room very efficiently, so made up a little bit of time there. Justin Man now grabbing the magical sword. The magical sword does 4 hit points of damage, the same as a bomb, which will help as he heads into level 6. The SkaF1aq grabs the red candle. Now, in level 6, we meet the Wizrobes for the first time. These red Wizrobes, they go down in one hit with the magical sword, but a red Wizrobe beam will do 4 hearts of damage in green tunic, so pretty dangerous. The blue Wizrobe beams do 2 hearts of damage, but they take 3 hits with the sword to take down. So, and their movement is a little bit different too. Now you'll see SkaF1aq going into a room that Justin Man skipped. He's killing off this Moldorms because it has a static bomb drop. So even though SkaF1aq got it, that key in level 4 that Justin Man didn't, they now have the same number of keys, and we'll have to, and so both of them will have to get that key at the beginning of level 9. That leaves SkaF filled up with bombs as he finishes off the level. There is a static bomb drop in the Guerrilla room just south of that Moldorms, but it takes a little bit longer. With White Sword, killing off the Moldorms is pretty fast, so it's a favorite backup, particularly for SkaF1aq. So SkaF1aq finishing off the Wall Masters as Justin Man is in Magical Breakfast Room 2. Yeah, as we call these rooms with the like since they look like pancakes, and very clean level 6 for Justin, as he's already through to the back half of it, as SkaF1aq is finishing off level 7, and he'll head to get the magical sword himself pretty soon. Justin Man finishes off Goma by aiming for the eye of Goma with 1 arrow, and grabs the level 6 Triforce as SkaF1aq heads towards the magical sword. So Justin's whistling to level 2, and he'll head into level 8. As you saw when he menued, he has 1 more Triforce piece to pick up before heading into level 9. And level 8, one of the, at least on the any percent route, one of the shorter levels, but also pretty difficult. It's basically 2 very hard rooms he has ahead of him. So Justin in the what we call the Blue Lagoon, partly because it lags with all these fireballs and darknets on screen. You often see it slow down. That's not a problem with the stream. That's an issue with the NES that is inherent to the game. And but he gets through it nicely with and gets a fairy drop, which is somewhat lucky. Those blue darknets are in the health group, so you sometimes get health with them, but sometimes you don't. Justin Man throws down a bomb to soften them up, so... Justin Man takes a little bit of, it's a little bit, knocked around in Blue Lagoon number 2, but he gets through it. As SkaF1aq in Magical Breakfast Room 2, back in level 6, also taking some damage. But we see Justin Man heading into SkaF1aq. This four-headed SkaF1aq goes down pretty quick when you have the magical sword. So Justin Man now grabbing the level 8 Triforce, just as SkaF1aq is finishing off level 6. See Justin Man detouring before he heads to level 9. He's heading to he'll grab a potion from this old man who lives in a tree for some reason. We'll say take any one you want. If you ever played this game casually as a kid, you probably always took the heart container because you could just buy a potion, but that takes some time, so in the speedrun we take the free potion. So SkaF1aq now heading into level 8 as Justin Man makes his way up Death Mountain towards level 9. Pretty good Blue Lagoon one for SkaF1aq. He got that last Dark Nut gave him a little bit of trouble, but then dropped a fairy to make up for it. So, and he gets a clock in this room in between the lagoons, which gives him a chance to farm a little bit. So he's heading into Blue Lagoon 2 with full health thanks to a fairy drop. Justin Man, meanwhile, did get that key in the first room of level 9 and was making his way towards the end of the game as SkaF1aq heads towards Gleeok. Very nice Patra 1 skip by Justin Man. It's trickier than he made it look to get past that Patra without taking damage. Interesting, you know, SkaF1aq skipped that heart container in the corner, which it's not necessary because now that they both have the magical sword, they don't need heart containers to for that purpose. Justin Man took it as a safety precaution, so he has more heart containers as he makes his way through the level 9 than Ska did, but Ska saved a few seconds during that at the end of level 8 there, and is now heading towards level 9 himself. My guess is he will also get a safety potion. Oh no, he doesn't. Ska going into level 9 without stopping for the potion. Interesting. So Justin Man finishes off the reverse C, that nice double block clip to as he clears out that room. Those bubbles that take your sword and the whiz ropes that shoot at you. Pretty difficult fight, but it didn't give him too much trouble. SkaF1aq, meanwhile, in level 9 himself. Nice reverse clip on the way out of a reverse C by Justin. That works similar to the block clip that you've seen them done before, but because there's only one place in the route that does it and the visual cue is less obvious, it's a little bit harder. And Justin Man is down to 1 heart, so he is taking a moment to drink that potion he grabbed. Perfect Patra skip by SkaF1aq too. See, both of these runners, they're both, you know, intermediate level, running 2 first, but pretty solid runners. You can see with those Patra skips. So SkaF1aq finishing off the next room as Justin's in the trap room. Making quick work of those whiz robes. Ooh. Ska trying to block clip around Patrick 2, getting a little bit trolled by the pattern, so he opts to kill Patrick 2. The advantage, excuse me. The advantage there is that Patrick 2 will no longer be there when he returns. Meanwhile, Justin Man doing the grayscale glitch on Patrick 3. He set off a bomb and went into the screen transition at just the right time to turn the screen gray, adding a little bit of swag to the run there as he heads into the Ganon fight. SkaF1aq only a few minutes behind him only a couple minutes behind him as he finishes off reverse C and pretty nicely and heads to grab the silver arrows. But Justin Man takes out Ganon, so get your GGs out in chat for justinman114, finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 36:37. Ooh. SkaF1aq taking some damage in this block clip room. He didn't hit that reverse block clip on the first try, so he... Ooh. SkaF1aq down to 1 heart. He's in a little bit of danger here. Even a like will kill him. Oh, and unfortunately SkaF1aq does take a death. Oh. So Ska heading back in, straight back into level 9. He could leave and whistle to a fairy or grab an extra potion or something like that, but he's opting to press ahead, so we'll see how he does. A little dicey with 3 hearts, but he does have the silver arrows, so he doesn't need to return to reverse C again. Another perfect Padra skip for Ska, which is good because he can't really afford a Padra bop. Now he's beating up on this old man, not just because go to the next room is bad advice. What he's doing is, every time he hits the old man, it registers a kill. So if he gets 16 kills in a row, he'll force a fairy. He got up to 10, so he got a rupee. So my guess is he's trying to force fairies here, but not sure where the... Okay, he took a hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit. And he got... So he hit the old man 15 times and got that forced fairy from that red whiz robe. That'll help a little bit. That old man strat, trickier than it looks. He had to dodge some fireballs there, but he gave himself some breathing room. a block clip around those like legs to avoid them, just for taking it extra safe. Clears out the trap room, last room of whiz ropes to clear out, although there's another room of whiz ropes to dodge. Which he does expertly. Looks like Scott went for that grayscale glitch too, but he didn't time it right, so it's just left a bomb on the stairs. That's okay, he's clearing out Patcher 3 now, and he does it without taking a bop, so that's nice. And now he'll head in to fight Ganon himself. Fireballs do 1 heart of damage, a hug from Ganon does 4 hearts of damage, so with 4.5 hearts, you can do the math on his position here. And he gets Ganon stun locked and gets that Triforce of Power. So get your GGs out in chat for SkaF1aq, finishing in 2nd place in an official SRL time of 42:03. And nice, he gets the Dark Link ending. Yeah. Alright, I think we have someone in the... We have Justin in the commentator's booth with us. GG, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Zelda swag. Just watching the end there.
yeah, you gotta love the Dark Link ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the run. You were out of bombs at the end of level 3, so you chose to go back in.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I could have tried to, I guess, just kill some moblins or whatnot outside and get bombs, but I don't want to risk doing that and then having, not getting them. So I knew I had the Darknet bombs still there, which was a joke. I mean, I had like 6 bombs from Manhandle. I did not get good luck there. So I mean, at least I got the kill, but yeah, I decided to just grab the bombs, and it took about probably wasted 45 seconds or something like that at least, but it was worth it, I think.
Yeah, Manhandle was a jerk to both of you, and we'll talk about that with Scott in a second. But
yeah, I was listening. I heard he had some trouble there too. So,
but yeah, I actually when I saw you go back in, because I was watching 2 streams and doing commentary by myself, I thought you must have died and I missed it. But then
I heard that.
Chad pointed out that I was wrong.
Yeah, I figured you'd eventually realize, even like when I'm going through the rest of the game and I still haven't gone to 3 yet or something.
All right, and we have SkaF1aq in the commentator's booth with us. GG, sir.
GG.
GG, Ska.
Yeah, so we were just talking about Manhandle.
Ugh. Do we have to?
I think it was like neck and neck right up till that, right?
Yeah, it was through levels 2, 1, and 1. It was almost room for room. Yeah.
Man.
Because you both.
I almost regret renaming him Troll Handle on my timer now.
Well, I mean, that's what he is.
We got the emote.
I haven't had that much trouble with him since I basically started running this game.
No, well, I mean, even top runners will die to Manhandle. It's a terrible boss. But so what else should we talk about? Should we? I mean, there were some good parts of this run. You both did the Patcher 1 skip perfectly. Scott did it twice. So
I figured out how to do that today.
Well, doing it the second time is free because the door's not there.
Well,
But yeah, I almost always miss that or have Patra 1 go left, so I can't even have a chance at it. So I was pretty happy with that. I don't think my 9 was that good. I had to use the potion, which I guess I only had to use it once, so that's a plus for me. But
yeah, SkaF1aq, you didn't grab a safety potion on the way in. Talk about that, because
I've been that's what I was working on before this race. I'd been using my save states to go through level 9 without a potion. I was doing it with a very high success rate. It's just I'd manhandle it through everything off, and I was out of my head for most of it, and like I lost time in level 4. I always lose time on these splits in level 5 because it's a slight route change, but it just got in my head, and then I was thrown off a little bit. Like the Patra 1 skip, I'm very proud of that. It's I didn't even understand how it was done, and I just sat and kept going over and over and over and finding different spots like half tiles to walk up on and where to sword. And
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and you did get through on the second try. You got that forced fairy and powered through. It's not like sometimes people die in level 9 and we see them just get caught in an endless loop. So it was nice not to see that.
Yeah, that was another thing that I kind of practiced earlier today, was starting off with 3 hearts. I could make it all the way through.
Oh, nice.
It's like forcing that fairy. Yeah, forcing that fairy is the big thing, and I almost died trying to get the old man to give it to me.
Yeah, that's what always happens when I try to do that. I just end up going into that loop. And
the old man is tougher than he looks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so very nicely done for both of you. We always like to see the runs finish in a reasonable amount of time, and you were neck and neck up until the most random boss in the game decided to change things. So
yeah.
So well done, sirs. What do we have coming up in this tournament? Give me a moment. I should have it pulled up by now.
I think there's a race coming up here very shortly. Actually.
Yeah, 5:30 Eastern, I think.
Yes, that's on Speed Gaming. Not here on Speed Gaming 2, but on Speed Gaming. Dan H and Captain Green 7 will be racing at 5:30 Eastern, and then tonight on Crimson Avix's channel we have a pair of races at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. At 10 o'clock Eastern time, JSR2 Gamers versus RC Drone, 2 top runners who are very close on the leaderboard with low 29 PBs will be racing each other. That should be a really good race.
That's a hell of a match. There's actually a lot of good matchups this week between top tier or kind of really similar PB runners,
Yeah. And then at 11 p.m. also on Crimson Avix's channel will be Unos and 4i Steven. Unos, one of the top runners. 4i Steven, one of the not top but up and coming solid 31 runners. So it won't be a complete blowout. But.
Yeah, Steven's good. He's getting up there.
Yeah,
he's another low percent runner too. So he's got some skills.
Yeah. Steven and Ska and I are all sort of discover the game together. So we're always excited to watch him.
We had a lot of races back in the day.
Back in the day being 6 months ago.
Yeah. Back when we were all doing hour times.
Anyway, so go over to Speed Gaming to catch the Dan H and Captain Green in 40 minutes or so, and we will see you soon. Thanks everyone, and goodbye.
Thanks guys.
Thanks everybody.